Yes, we want to look at what to eat or drink when the blood pressure is always high. And somebody said, what can I eat or drink when my high blood pressure is always high? All still the same. And if you look at our previous videos, some of our previous videos, we've talked about high blood pressure and the cause of high blood pressure and all those things. High blood pressure occurs when the diastolic or systolic readings is, that is, if the systolic and diastolic reading is on the high side, then it means that somebody is having high blood pressure, and if it's on the low side, it means they are having hypertension. And hypertension is one of the leading cause of death in many parts of the world these days, because it leads to stroke, it leads to heart attacks, it leads to cardiac arrest and hypertension and others. So, but in a situation whereby somebody is having hypertension and it's looking like what can he eat or drink, just is a two-way thing. Is that you suppress it or you cure it? So, and mind you, in all of our posts I said high blood pressure or hypertension can be treated nutritionally, and so we are going to look at some of the possible things that can be used that you can drink or eat if you have hypertension, just to serve as correctional measures or to serve as the cure. So one after the other, we'll be looking at few things that people have used, few things the doctors have recommended, and things that have worked for people, and I believe it's also going to work for you as well. So the first thing you're going to do is you need to see your doctor, so that your doctor will be able to ascertain some of the level of the blood pressure, or the doctor is in the best position to have a test, to run a test on you, diagnose, and also give you some prescription drugs. So when we talk about prescription drugs, there are some drugs that are very important. That's one of the things you can drink or eat. So when we talk about hypertension, based on reports, based on what I've seen, based on experience, hypertension is not something you just ignore. You must take something, you must drink something, and your prescription drug is one of those things. And a very good example of a very prescription drugs that work for hypertension, which you don't need to joke about, is what is Modretic. Talk to your doctor about Modretic, and he will tell you if Modretic is actually drinks like Modretic, Vasoprene, and all those things. These are all the drugs you can use. We are not here to recommend drugs, but we can tell that, okay, just give your doctor a call or go see your doctor about it. That's one of the first important things to do. Then we need to look at some other things. In all these foods and drinks I'm going to mention now, they are more like home remedies, so we need to just look at them and it works. And the first thing I'm going to look at is combination of fresh ginger and garlic. Fresh ginger and garlic have been seen to be very effective because it contains some very active ingredient that helps in suppressing and reducing the level of hypertension and high blood pressure. So garlic contains all those alkaloids, and also it has been used locally and medicinally to reduce high blood pressure. So some of the things. So if you are looking at what can I drink or eat when the blood pressure is always high, then you have to look at fresh ginger and garlic, and that's that. So the next one is original honey. Original honey has been tested to work for people, so you don't need to take excess sugar, because original honey don't contain sugar. Although it is sweet, but it also works. So you can actually use original honey and substitute with intake of sugar and salt. So we are still coming to looking at salt, but original honey can be used instead of sugar, or just normal industrial sugar or factory sugar. So for your tea and all those things. So if you are taking original honey, it also helps. Then you also need to look at drink water. Water is very important. The chemistry of the body requires more than 7 glass cups of water a day. So if you take water instead of taking beer and alcohol, water is also very good, and it also helps in increasing the metabolic activities of the body, increasing metabolism and digestion and others. So you also need to do that. So you need to drink more water. So if you are looking at, okay, what do? You don't drink onions, just drink more water, and water is very good. And when looking at now, let us going deep to the herbal side of this. They need to look at avocados leaf and sandpaper leaf. When they boil them together, it reduces the high blood pressure. Just an uncle of mine was hospitalized and was diagnosed of high blood pressure the other time. In fact, he suffers hypertension, but later the doctor recommended a herbal treatment of avocado leaves and sandpaper leaf. Boil them together and drink it maybe like 2 times in a day, and it works. So all those things, I really don't look down on leaves. I really don't look down on herbal treatment, because I've seen it. So you can get hold of avocado leaf because it's very good, and it can also help you reduce the high blood pressure if it's always very high. And that's that. Then you also need to go low on sugar and salty foods. Reduce sugar and salty food, especially salt. Salt contains sodium ion, which obstruct activities of the heart. So when you are taking too much of salty foods and you have hypertension, then it will always be high. And I also have an uncle, or just like a friend, I said, okay, his blood pressure is always very high, usually very high. And what do you do? I said, you need to see your doctor, and I'm very sure the doctor will tell you to reduce your salt intake. But immediately you reduce the salt and sugar intakes, then he saw considerable changes in the blood pressure reading. So you just have to find ways of reducing your salt and sugar intakes, and your body will be back to normal, your blood pressure will be back to normal. And then you also need to go for guava leaf and sense leaf and moringa leaf. I've seen people on different Facebook groups, on different YouTube channels, and different hospitals use guava leaf. They combine guava leaf and sense leaf. Even without combining, guava leaf is very good when it comes to reducing of blood pressure, and also moringa leaf. So you have to do that. And another thing I've recommended, I've seen people take, is mixing of garlic with honey. They mix garlic, they pound it, they mix garlic with honey. And if you're taking garlic and honey, it's because honey itself is like it contains a very strong, because since it's from an ant, so it contains a very strong substance, and so that garlic also is always a substance that can actually reduce or lower the hypertension or high blood pressure. So combining garlic and honey together, mixing them together, and taking them probably like 2 or 3 times in a day, within a week you see considerable changes, and the high blood pressure will be lowered. And I've also seen people put aloe vera in maybe like 2 liters of bottle and drink it. Aloe vera is also very good when it comes to coronavirus, because it contains active ingredients, active agents, alkaloid substance that can reduce the high blood pressure to the minimum. Aloe vera leaf aloe vera plant is also a very good one, and that's all. Please, and another one is no alcohol. Because you have hypertension, because you have high blood pressure, one of the things you can eat or drink does not include alcohol. So stay away from alcohol and smoking. But smoking and taking a lot of alcohol and beer and rum triggers the reading of the high blood pressure, so which results to hypertension. So if you are suffering from hypertension or high blood pressure, or when the high blood pressure is always high, then you need to do away from alcohol. Then doing away from alcohol doesn't mean you're going to drink beer. You do away from beer, you take it from rum, you stay away from spirits, vodka, and any form of alcohol. I know what I'm saying, and don't ever go back to those things again. Take water instead, and that's one. The another one which I've seen that also helps a great deal, which I've mentioned this one in some of our previous posts about lowering of high blood pressure, is the unripe items, unripe fruits like unripe plantain, unripe pawpaw, and all those things are very good. Some people, they even soak it inside water, and they'll be taking it like juice, maybe in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but based on what I've seen. So all those things, taking them from unripe, apart from soaking it in water or just like herbs, some people can also eat it as once in a while. If you don't feel like, you don't need to take something sugary anymore because of your high blood pressure. So if you want to really help yourself, you can go for some unripe fruits, unripe pawpaw, unripe plantain, and others. So I think we have been able to mention few things which you can drink or eat when the blood pressure is always high, or when the high blood pressure is always high. But there are some other things also you can also do apart from eating or drinking. You also need to find ways of sleeping well. You need to sleep very well. You don't need to sleep. Then you have to reduce your stress. Then working overnight, working too much, and all those things. Because if you have high blood pressure and you are overstressing yourself, you are working too much, what are you going to gain from them? You might probably have stroke one day, get down one day. So in order to prevent all those things, yourself from having stroke, cardiac arrest, hypertension, heart attack, and all those things, then you need to sleep well. You need to get reduced of stress and all those. And others. Then you also need to exercise slightly. Then exercise is one of the best way to heal any ailment. Cardiac arrest, stroke, hypertension, high blood pressure, and all those things. So if you have high blood pressure, if you have hypertension, you can go for exercise, doing exercise slightly. And what do you do with exercise? You can go for walking. You have to walk more. If you walk more, then I can bet you with other factors other foods and factors which I've talked about, then you are going to be in the best position to reduce your high blood pressure without spending money, without seeing a doctor, or without even getting it more complicated. And that's that. So finally, from what we have said, we are talking about if there are few things you can drink or eat if you have blood pressure, and there are some things you cannot take. So everything has been put together. We said you can take original honey, you can take fresh ginger and fresh garlic. Then you can go for drugs, petroleum drugs like Modretic, and you can also drink more water, take more water. Then we have avocado leaf and sandpaper leaf. Avocado leaf is good, guava leaf is good, sense leaf is good, moringa leaf is good, and the aloe vera also is good. So put all these things together and your hypertension, your blood pressure will be reduced or lowered dramatically. And that's it. So if you have any question, you can feel to use the comment box, post your comment there, then we are going to answer you within the shortest period of time. Like I post, and probably if you need a very fast, you can also subscribe to us so you can get fresh updates from us when it comes to health related issues. So in our next post also, we're still going to post something more on hypertension and reducing and lowering hypertension. So see you in our next post. Thank you.